There's times where you'll be suspicious of each other. There's times where you'll be jealous of each other. Good feelings are not enough to carry a relationship. Hey guys, I want to share the biggest question I get when men come into my coaching program and they ask me this, and they're serious and they've never been able to ask this before. And my answer changes their life. Adam, how can I be in a committed relationship? In fact, what am I supposed to do in a committed relationship? Today, I'm going to teach you very quickly, in a brief, condensed, chopped down version, how to be in a committed relationship, because it is way different from what most people expect. It's a whole different ballgame. To talk about a committed relationship, I need to ask you one thing. What are you committing to in a committed relationship? What does that even mean? Well, it means you're committing to making other people happy and having good feelings with each other until one of you dies. And that one's the winner because then the other one's alone. Bzz, wrong. That's not what a committed relationship is. So what are you committing to? Well, being honest with each other and not having sex with anyone else. Bzz, wrong. That's not a committed relationship either. These are just arrangements, but they're not committed relationships. What are you committing to? Well, usually for a commitment, you're dedicating yourself to some kind of a goal. What's the goal? Well, what is the goal of a long-term relationship? That's exactly the point. That's what I ask people who come into coaching. If people come in and they have a committed relationship and they say, well, it's on the rocks and I'm not sure what to do about it, how to fix it. I say, well, okay, what's the purpose of your relationship? The what? Well, we love each other. Okay, well, so I love my kids. My kids love a cat. My son loves a dog. Like, okay, they're not married. What's the difference? Well, I don't know. What's the purpose of my relationship? I've never thought about that. Okay, let me spell this out for you. When you are in a committed relationship, you are building something together for the rest of your life. Some people and most couples, that means kids and grandkids and great-grandkids. This means a living legacy of descendants. When you don't have that, maybe it's a living legacy of adopted descendants, or it's a living legacy of people you have helped. Maybe it's a nonprofit you're starting. Maybe it's a big volunteer organization you're putting together. Maybe it's a charity. Maybe it is human impacts through multiple pieces. Maybe it's a giant financial or business inheritance for somebody out there. Maybe you are building a business to house and feed and employ people. Whatever you are building, that's what you're committing to. Every couple should have a goal that they're building toward, whatever that looks like. For me and my wife, it's multiple kids. We have 4 right now, and who knows however many more we're going to have. Kids, grandkids, great-grandkids in a healthy family system where they can work together and have a reasonable financial inheritance, a good spiritual and moral and relationship inheritance where they are a bonded system so that they don't have to scatter to the 4 winds and hate each other and fight and squabble and disconnect and run away and escape. They can be together in happiness and love in whatever system they're in. That's what we're trying to build. We're committing to that. That's why my wife and I have been together for 13 and a half years, married 13 and a half years. And that's what you need to commit to. That's what you should commit to. In some way, shape, or form, every relationship needs a commitment. So, going back to your question, when there's single men saying, how do I be in a committed relationship? What is your goal? What goal would a healthy woman join you in creating? What's your long-term goal that you're looking for? Well, I don't know. A lot of single guys don't say, I want 5 kids and grandkids, and I can't wait. Guys usually don't think like that early on in relationships, especially when they're single. They might want a couple of kids, but they're not usually like hungry for a family quite yet. Not typically. They say, okay, well, I would like this and this and this. When you start defining that, then I say, okay, what principles do you hold that you want to carry on into that system will embody? Honor, loyalty, integrity, honesty, compassion, mercy, fortitude. What virtues and what values are you carrying into that relationship and into that legacy you're building? Well, I want to build a family that has honesty at its core, compassion for each other, and loyalty to each other, genuine loyalty, real love for each other. Okay, that's fantastic. This is something that a woman could commit to. If you're a woman, this is something that a man could commit to. If that's what you want to build, wow, that's respectable. I would love to help build that with you. The couple comes together and says, this sounds fantastic. Let's commit to doing this together, and let's test and see if we're a compatible match to make that happen. If we could survive this battle together, because it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard road sometimes. Let me tell you, there's tough times that you're going to have to get through, and you're going to have to both be committed to the end goal, committed relationship, to stay through the bad feelings. Because if the relationship is all based on feelings, you're not going to last real long. I'll just warn you. Spoiler alert. There's bad times where you will hate each other. There's times where you'll be suspicious of each other. There's times where you'll be jealous of each other. There's times where you just won't like each other. There's times where you just won't even see each other and you'll almost forget about each other. And then you reunite and you're like, this is wonderful. I haven't seen you in 3 months. Well, I've been right here, but we've been so busy. There's times like that. Good feelings are not enough to carry a relationship. You must be in a committed relationship with something you're committing to, both of you. And then in that committed relationship, you take care of each other toward that goal. Everything moves toward that goal. Not that the two people don't care or don't matter, but in my example, we are moving toward a healthy, loving family system. Okay, I work a lot of hours. My wife does not work at a financial job. She works hard taking care of our 4 kids. We have balanced that lifestyle out, but we work to take care of each other. When I have so much work, I won't be able to pause and cook myself food or prepare meals, or I'm going to work late sometimes. It's time for a 12-hour shift of just pouring out information and helping people learn about attachment, which I love. She takes care of my needs and she helps me and encourages me in that. That's why my legacy is not mine alone. It's our legacy. Everybody watching this, you are as much a part of my legacy as you're healing your attachment as you are my wife's legacy. She is making it possible for you to learn about attachment through the hard work she does. And you don't even see her. She's not even here on camera. She's making it happen. And that's great. That's what it's supposed to be. And in turn, when she needs help, I step in and help. Whether that's rubbing her shoulders at the end of a really hard day with the kids, because I love them with all of my heart, and they can be challenging because they're growing and learning. So they will challenge authority and they will scatter all over the place. And it's like herding cats sometimes. And she, at the end of a day, needs some encouragement or some warmth or some care or a muscle that's been pulled. She needs a muscle rubbed, and that is care for her. And I could sit back and say, well, I had a hard day. I don't think I have the energy to rub your shoulders. But you know what? At the end of a hard day, I look at it and I say, did we both move toward our goal today? Yeah, we did. We both moved toward our long-term goal of building a loving family system where we can support each other and say that we were honest. Okay. And you know what? What would help right now in this moment? Me going to bed and getting a little bit more sleep, another 20 minutes of sleep, or me for the next 20 minutes rubbing out your injured shoulder, helping you release oxytocin during that kindness, giving you a compliment, spending time on you, making you feel like a priority. What would be really best for the next 20 years? Well, it's the 20 minutes of sleep. No, it's caring for my wife and giving her that warmth and encouragement to get through the next day and to go to sleep that night feeling better and to wake up the next day feeling better and go through the next week. It's care for each other and nurturing each other that really matters long term. That's why the feelings aren't enough. The feelings aren't enough, you guys. The feelings aren't even the relationship. The feelings should inform how you are doing as you move toward the goal. That's it. Do not make the feelings the heart of your relationship. Commit to something and then move in that direction as a committed relationship, as a committed couple. Commit to your goal together and move toward your goal together. And this makes your dating life so much better because then as you're moving and dating, you're saying, okay, are you really committed to this end goal? Let me watch you for my wife and I. We were engaged. We got engaged at 2 weeks. We met 2 weeks later. We said, our goals are so locked in. Our principles are so locked in. We're doing this. Let's get engaged. But we waited until 11 months into the relationship. Then we got married. And we've been married now for 13 and a half years. So if you count the numbers, it's been 14 and a half years. Actually, it's been about 14 and a half. 15 come wintertime. That's how we moved so fast. 2 weeks of getting to know each other's goals and principles, and then 10 and a half more months of making sure each person was moving seriously toward that goal and was really serious about it and hadn't lied about it and wasn't just faking it. They were taking honest steps and making sacrifices toward that step and we were supporting each other as we did it. And we said, yeah, man, you're really committed to this goal. So am I. Let's do it. And we got married. 13 and a half years later, here we are. And it's wonderful. Marriage gets better because then, even during the difficult times, you can both high five. And we do. Sometimes it's fun high-fiving my wife. She's a great high-fiver. I'll just tell you that. I don't know if that's gentlemanly to brag about your wife's ability to high five, but she's pretty fantastic. We high five. I'm like, dude, we made it. Another step. Sometimes it's we survived another day. High five. And sometimes it's, you know what, we socked away a little bit more money. That will help. High five. We bought another little asset that will appreciate value over the years. High five. You know, we hit a milestone with our son. Our son just entered first grade, actually, which was amazing. Like, all right, high five, we got him there. He's alive and he's becoming literate. And sometimes that's it. It's every little win adds up toward the goal. Every little win adds up to their goal. So someday, when she and I are 90 years old, hopefully, God willing, we're still there. We're going to sit on our front porch in creaky old rocking chairs. And we'll be 90 years old, watching our kids play out on the lawn, and our grandkids, and maybe our great-grandkids, tossing a football or kicking a soccer ball around. I prefer soccer. Sorry for everybody that I just broke your bubble. I prefer soccer. Hopefully they're kicking soccer. And I'll reach over, I'll pinch my wife's butt. We're in our 90s. You can ew or aw or whatever you want. And that's going to be our life. And we will say one last high five. We made it. We made it. We did it. We committed for life. And we made it. That's a committed relationship. That's what a committed relationship is supposed to be. Everything is a partnership toward this committed goal. So let me ask you right now, if you're not in a committed relationship yet, what is your goal? What would somebody entering your life know that you are committed? What would someone coming into a committed relationship commit to if they were committing with you? Not to you, with you. And if you're in a committed relationship right now, let me ask you, what is the point of your relationship? What's the point? If it's to just sit there until one of you doesn't feel good, then you're headed for disaster. If it's to feel good until one of you dies, then the one who's left behind loses. That sucks. I hate to say it to you that way. That sucks. I was a licensed marriage and family therapist for years, and I saw so many couples come in, and they would say, we don't know what to do. We're miserable. What's the defining point of your relationship? What's the goal that's keeping you together? What the heck is that? Okay, here's the problem. Let's find that goal first. We have to even commit to a goal before we can even commit to fixing the feelings, because the feelings are all that matter right now. If you're in a committed relationship and the feelings are all that matter, you do not have to live this way. You need to set your goals. You need to set your principles. You need to decide who you are. You need to decide what you're moving toward. You need to decide what legacy you want to build. You can do it. So down below in the comments, I'm going to leave a pinned comment. That comment is going to ask you, and I want you to answer this. What do you want to build? What do you want to build? What's your life? What's your legacy? What's your goal? What's your desire? What are you trying to build? What do you want to build? What do you make? What do you want to have in your life? What do you want to build? Leave a comment below. Define it for yourself. And you know what? Everybody else who's popping in after the first couple people have commented, once we get 100 of them there, how does yours match up to everybody else? Is it outlandish? Is it crazy? Is it like, well, I'd love to build a rocket and go to Mars? Or is it like, man, I'd love a family. I'd really like what Adam has. You know, I'll take that. I'll take what he's having. I'll have the high-fiving wife. That's cool. That's awesome. If that's what you want, build it. Build it. And then talk about it to your partner you have now, or talk about it to the next person you date. Because this is what makes you commitment material.